Let it go like that.
Oh, good boy.
Look at it.
Hey,
How's it hanging?
Look at us, we've all gotten fat now, eh?
Oh, I'm fat.
I'm gonna like a beer orange brew, but yeah. So did you guys practice today?
Yeah. We just had a bit of a run through there now. Yeah.
What are you guys doing nowadays? Under what moniker are you running? What's style?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing specific. Just just jamming. Just having. Yeah.
And style?
What to say, man?
Trance.
Nah. Just a
Sludgy rock and roll.
sludgy, heavy, fucking,
Donut.
yeah, like a crowbar goes.
Piracy Doom sort of stuff.
Crowbar goes entombed. The old favorites.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's not like what do you call it, like stoner metal?
Bit of that.
Yeah, I dig that, man. I know Johan doesn't. I dig it.
What's that?
Oh,
Drone. They call it drone.
Yeah.
It's that very distorted, very low tuned doom metal. No.
Now I'd say my doom is probably more sort of crowbar goes, corrosion of conformity goes, clutch down,
Stuff.
that kind
Yeah, okay, that is doom. Seed.
kind of blues based, a little bit more blues tinged. Yeah.
Do you know the old corrosion of conformity when they were still a punk band?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah, they went the Black Sabbath route.
Mm.
Yeah. Cool, man. So I really want to just talk about three bands. I mean, Johan's going to lead it on now, but I just want to just put it there because, I think I want to start right at the beginning, and then Johan must just voice questions. But I think we start with the band that some of you guys all know about, but nobody seems to know Pothole is Hellsteeth. For me, I've got my personal reasons. I can't even remember a song of theirs, I have to be honest. I know we played with them once or twice, but I mean, Old Simon, I think was his name. Yeah. He did a lot of shit for me, man. He did, like I told you, he even, that big VOD backdrop that we had.
Yes.
He made that, bro. And he also
artist. Yeah, he was quite a skilled artist there.
Is this Simon?
He spray painted. Yeah, he spray painted that Trojan Horse album that was never the cover. He actually with airbrush. Yeah. He airbrushed the whole cover for us. Yeah.
Lost
Why was that like a thing for Simon? And then I think we move on to how the members from Hellsteeth, you guys then went separate routes, obviously, and then Greg at that sort of time started Necrosis, and then you guys sort of got together, sort of like I think that's like the path, Johan?
Yeah. Let's not forget the whole exercise why we're doing this. I think you guys watched the other videos and you pretty much know the gist. But anyway, I think the sort of idea was born when we talked about that documentary that Sam Dunn did, and basically, so many, he just sort of picked up with Overthrust and those kind of bands, and the rest was just flat ignored. So that's why we're mainly doing this, to just really talk about the bands that were there. I mean, and to our surprise, there were even more bands, like Black Rose. I mean, Tyrant, their names that Mark Vass and those guys brought in, for me, it all started in my mind with Odyssey, Ragnarok, Strider, those bands. But anyway, we were surprised. So aside from your past project, I would also like to hear from you guys, what triggered it for you? What was your key moment? Obviously, there's international bands that kicked it off in your mind, most probably. But I mean, maybe there was a case of you went down to RT's and you saw a band and that inspired you, or whatever.
Yeah, but
maybe you can talk about
that. It was around 1990, about where I was exposed to the idea that there were actually South African metal bands. I mean, I was already listening to like Metallica and Slayer and Obituary and those kind of things, but it was either on Barney's show or on Phil Wright's show. Odyssey was the first band that I heard.
It was Phil Wright, yeah.
Yeah. It was on Phil Wright's show, yeah. He played Odyssey, he played Slayride.
You played Slayride?
Oh yeah. There was a slayride demo on there.
Neat. Wow.
Rest in peace. Huh?
Yeah. So it was like, hey, there's actually South African metal bands. Couldn't actually believe it, and put feelers out with some of the older guys at school and stuff like that, and they started talking about there's this place called Artie's in town, and the stage and the playground and all of this kind of thing. And at 16 years old, a bunch of us, we used to sneak through to town, we would go sneak into the stage, sneak into.
Were you from Somerset West Side at that time, Adam?
No. At that stage, I was living in Welgemoot.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we missioned through there underage.
And I guess Raffles at that time, there was fuck all there. It was just a club. There was nothing in the northern suburbs, metal-wise, clubs, fuck all, as far as I remember.
Yeah. Now, sort of towards the end of Matric was when Raffles first opened up. What was it, 92? And then, sort of from there, once we got sort of to drinking 18 and whatnot, and you could actually get into the places, you sort of started mingling a little bit more rather than hiding in the corner and hoping we didn't get caught, So, that's when the ideas of being in bands started sort of coming into the equation. And I met the drummer of Hellsteeth at that stage, a guy called Davey Myberg, who's also, unfortunately, he was murdered a couple of years back, so he's no longer with us.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a hold of him, bro. David, because he played with you guys as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played with Ox.
Yeah, he played with Ox. Yeah. He played with bands. But he got his start. He was originally the drummer when he was 10 years old. He was the drummer in Bring Mr. Jones. They were a punk band.
I remember that band, yeah.
1986, 87, around there. They
were like an alternative, punkish alternative band, yeah.
And the I don't know if he was the bass player. Yeah, he was the bass player of Bring Mr. Jones. Was Noel the guitarist, the lead guitarist?
Noel McShane.
Noel McShane. He was the lead guitarist of Hellsteeth, and Davey was on the drums, and they were all together. And they were together in Bring Mr. Jones. That disintegrated at whatever point, sort of late 80s. But he used to have to go sit in the car outside, waiting for the gig. They would bring him inside to play the gig, and he had to go out, obviously, because you couldn't be in a pub and whatnot at 10 years old.
Fuck, so, was that young, bro? In Bring Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then because at that time in Hellsteeth he was 60. I think he had just turned 17. That was 92.
And then how did what's the name, Simon, fit into the pit? Where the fuck did he appear?
Hellsteeth had obviously been going for a long time before we got involved. Now, Davey was the first guy. Simon had put an ad out that they needed a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
So Davey answered that, ended up getting into the band. And then he was like, he had Noel on the side who was sitting doing nothing. So he was like, I've got this lead guitars, like make it a dual guitars,
Yeah.
Simon could play lead and Noel could play lead as well. And Hellsteeth sort of had that kind of, it was like an Iron Maiden kind of new way.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, bro, like I can't actually remember what style of music they played. Did they play covers? I can't remember. Or did they play original shit? I can't actually recall.
Yeah, it was originals, yeah. Wow. But
no recording.
Once Noel and Davey were in the band, they, being the younger guys and a little bit more up to speed with what was happening sort of on the ground, that they wanted to go a bit heavier and whatnot. And so, and having met David and hung out with him, he just decided, you're going to be the vocalist. I'm going to get you in the band. So they wangled me into the band, and we played a bunch. We played a bunch of shows. First show was with Ravenwolf at Artie's. That was at 92 sometime. Which was actually great, because Ravenwolf was the first band that I ever saw. When I was 16, we went to the stage. And I remember walking in and seeing Cliff barefoot with his
crocodile with a crocodile on the side.
A rubber crocodile.
His belt, and they were playing Seek and Destroy, and my mind was just like, this this is amazing.
I mean, old Cliffy was already at the time quite old, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, he used to play in Phoenix with, I don't know if you remember Phoenix. That's sort of the band he had with Dick. And before they became Raven Wolf, they were Phoenix. And they used to play at artists and stuff, but mostly covers. They didn't really play original music.
Yeah.
But Cliffy actually, on this project, he said, look, he doesn't really, I suppose he doesn't want to do a video interview, but he sent us information.
Yeah.
And then Cliffy is like that he played in metal bands in Durban and in Joburg in 1985, 86, early on, bro. He played like in 4 or 5 different bands before he came to Cape Town.
Amazing.
It's fucking unbelievable. I mean, we just thought it was old Cliffy hanging around,
He was extremely underrated. He was good.
Yeah.
Cliff rocked. He was classic.
Yeah, I mean, he did the vocal. I mean, he did vocals and guitar at the same time. I remember that. I was impressed with that. And he would stand with his bare feet. I was the only other person who played with bare feet, and he hated that about me because he said I copied him. But he wanted that crocodile on his leg.
You're copying my shtick. No, I spoke to Cliffy briefly, and he said, no, what were his words? I'm a bit of a recluse. So here's some information. I can write it down for you, but I won't be taking part. So.
Yeah, it's a pity. But yeah, anyway, so we played a couple of shows and whatnot, but we just weren't 100% happy with the direction. We wanted to be loud and raucous and obnoxious and all the rest of it, and I mean at that stage we were listening to a lot of. I mean, like SOD was God. Yeah. I absolutely adored SOD.
Yeah,
and I mean,
first metal I heard.
Death metal was very much like a kind of like a flavor of the month at the time. It was like quite, it was the in thing. So we sort of didn't want to do that on purpose, so we weren't like part of, a trend or anything like that. So yeah, we wanted to go sort of, and we were also into a lot of like New York hardcore bands like Sick of It All and Biohazard and stuff like that. And also at that same time, Entombed came out with Wolverine Blues, which also was like heavy and rock, and it was massive influence on us at that time. So we thought we'd go sort of more in that kind of direction. So it was about mid-93 we broke away from that. But no, at that stage, I mean, I wasn't playing an instrument or anything, and I decided I was going to play a guitar. So it took us probably about a year just to actually, for me to learn to play and for us to write.
Were you singing at that stage, Adam, or was it your role was to as a vocalist? Or what?
I was actually just going to play guitar, but there was no one else was really around, so I ended up just doing it anyway. So it was guitar and vocal. So it was at that stage it was Davey, Noel, myself, and a friend of ours, Martin Robbins, who we drafted in. So Christmas Eve '93 we started that, and it was at that phase when we were sort of just getting going. That's when Necrosis, that's when because '92 when we were doing the Hellsteeth thing, he was in the army.
You guys used to pick me up at the base in Pretoria, and I come and watch you guys play in Joburg at the Doors and all of that. I was back with Stacey and all of that, and we would come watch you guys. But yeah, I think my first time watching you guys was somewhere in the foreshore, watching Francois do his first gig with VOD, and that's when I managed to sneak into the club. I don't know what it was. I don't know which club it was at that point in time, but it was upstairs. And I just heard your guitar flat out. I just heard this monstrosity of a sound, and I was like, fuck it. I just want to do this kind of thing. So yeah, Necrosis was kind of formed under that formula. And then I met Martin, and I met all the other guys.
Martin Robbins.
This is Martin Pribble. Martin Pribble.
Blonde, he was a guitarist there.
Yeah, the curly blonde hair. And then
I remember him. Yeah.
I'd met Carl through Maitland College during, I think, the years of 91 or 90. And from there, it was just like, we want to start this death metal band. And we wanted to be heavier than VOD, but still be able to, jam. And I think that was all of that American influence of like, the death metal, the Cannibal Corpse and the gore fests of
Type of horror scene.
The three cities that contributed to metal in the early or late 80s, early 90s was obviously Pretoria, Cape Town, and Joburg. I mean, nobody really knew what was going up in Durban and stuff like that. But I think the band from Pretoria that was definitely Strider. At that time, Ragnarok from, and then VOD from Cape Town. But we were playing more thrash sort of stuff. And the first death metal band that in my mind, I mean, people can dispute it, but for me, I think Retribution the Night was the first death metal band for me in Joburg. And the first death metal band in Cape Town was Necrosis for me, honestly. You guys went for that whole death metal, the proper death metal fucking route, you know?
Super brutal, yeah.
And I think it was the late Napalm Death gig that you guys did that really just spawned it off properly, and that we were just like, okay, we want to do this. And by the time I got out of the army, we were a year in, we were already starting to jam, Raffles and then Hell and a couple of other places.
When did Necrosis start? Because, I mean, Necrosis started about 1992. Yeah?
Yeah. And we only lasted 2 years.
Who was your bassist again?
It was a guy called Andre Deprere, yeah.
What's happened to him?
Andre actually plays in a very, very good Afro fusion band that plays all over the Cape Town area. He doesn't listen to any of that heavy music at all. He became quite a big skydiver. He was a free fall champion, doing lots of skydiving all over the world and including South Africa as
So it was you on drums, Carl on guitar, and then Martin on guitar, Andre on bass, and then who in the vocals? Who did the vocals?
And he did vocals as well. He did vocals as well. So it was a 4-piece band, 2 guitarists, bassist, vocalist, drummer.
And Martin used to do backings, I think, yeah.
And Martin did backing vocals, yeah.
And there was a guy.
Martin was he had like a flying V, if I recall. Eh?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, that was
I remember we interviewed that thing.
And we rolled in with our Marshall stacks. That's how.
Yes, and then you guys had all the bucks. We was at cuck gear, bro. Like at my crater, but you guys the Cruisers had the whole fucking thing, dude. They had like the big drum kit, the fucking Marshall stacks. I mean, only a Dickon had that Seastockie's cab that he had, with the tweed cover. And yeah, they were rolling with that, like fucking proper stacks, brand new. Like, yes.
I can't believe we had all of that. It's just very, very crazy. We just really wanted to go over the top, We wanted to be bigger and better, And that was our aim at that point in time.
And then you went to that fucking dubious recording company, Undertone Records, up in some fucking
Castle Street.
Yeah, to go record some demo. Yeah.
Now, quickly, before you talk about the demo, there is a young man that frequented your shows and Raffles quite a bit, who I've been looking for, because he used to come to Undertone Records as well. Peter
Monroe.
Blonde guy.
Peter. Yes, I remember Peter. Yeah, he was. He used to be.
He was on the dance floor always. Yeah.
Yes, long blonde hair.
Yeah, I mean, Pete. Hang on.
Peter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heavily
I don't know.
Sinister and those kind of bands.
If it is the same person, he's actually dead. He died in a car crash a couple of years ago. Yeah.
And the amount of people that's passing away, Bruce, like.
We had the Urban Assault guy and.
Two of them.
Yeah, Dirk and yeah.
So on the Necrosis side, so basically, I mean, you guys wanted to go.
I was there in the recording.
Yeah,
I witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah, we recorded with Nathan Blurk, and he got us going, and then we realized how shit we were as a band after that recording. It was like, is that what it entails, And then obviously, when you hear the recording, you just want to beat it and then re-record it, because that's, I think, what we should have done. But I mean, it was a little passing in time of being Cape Town's first death metal band, and we lasted 2 years, and then subsequently things fell apart, and then
brothers, it's easy for the Joburg. I always felt our Cape Town band struggled there. I mean, we didn't have the amount of audiences that the Joburg crowds had, the amount of venues, and also equipment-wise. I mean, Cape Town, we were always fucking poor in Cape Town, bro. So I think from the Cape Town point of view, you guys did fucking well. I mean, there's not many. I mean, even look, Hellsteeth didn't record shit. Phoenix didn't record shit. Slayride, well, they did a demo. There was very few bands in Cape Town that produced demos and stuff at that time. Hellsteeth never recorded fuck all, nothing.
Well, they used to record their, like a
Practice. Yeah.
a hi-fi with a microphone in it in the band room. So I remember Simon had recordings of the, of our jams and whatnot in the studio, in the rehearsal rooms. But it would be very lo-fi. Yeah.
You don't remember his surname at all, eh? Nobody does. I can't remember his surname.
For some reason, it's just sitting in a dead part of the brain.
Wasn't he buddies with the Slayride guys? Remember the Slayride guys lived out on a farm there in like a farm somewhere. Yeah. I'm sure he was buddies with them. I think that's how I met him originally, it was through Jerome and them from Slayride. I mean, that's another Cape Town band that I've got great respect for. People. I mean, Slayride never became big, but they were always around, bro. Like when VOD started gigging first in Cape Town, they were always there at the gigs. Phoenix, Slayride.
I think they were the first guys that actually recorded like a CD, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so basically, Necrosis, so Greg, I mean, you guys played a few gigs, I know that. You guys played
outside of Cape Town
a few times, and
no, we never played outside of Cape Town. But after I think the loss of the Paradise Lost gig, it was kind of like the band decided it was done, and that's when Pothole kind of reshaped the Cape Town scene with their thrash metal and groove orientation, and that's then paved the way for bands like Torn. And I played with Krenon at one stage, and then started Torn after that. And then we did. I think we lasted 2 years as well. Yeah, so it was a combination between the whole of the '90s that all of these bands were playing.
So how did the idea? Because this was more like an amalgamation from the ex-Hellsteeth guys and the Necrosis guys to form Pothole. I mean, how did that come about?
Well, like I said, we had broken away, the Noel, Davey, and myself, and then we actually sort of, as we were sort of getting towards playing live, we roped in Carl from Necrosis on third guitar. We, as far as I know, we beat Iron Maiden to having 3 guitars. So yeah, we had 3 guitars going.
Cole joined in 1994, I see. Well, you played for a year.
Yeah. He was with us for about a year, and then you did a stint with us in 97.
Yeah, Greg joined in 97.
Yes, when we did the
the second album. Well, that was the first album.
No, the first album.
But
the original drummer was David. David played. He was the original drummer, David, right?
Yeah.
And then Greg joined, and then and then Jock Hugo or somebody.
Oh yeah. Martin emigrated overseas in '98, and then Jock Hugo, who was in Torn with Greg. So then he came across.
This is Greg, my bro. I know nothing about Torn at all. Nothing, like zero. Bro.
Torn came apart after Pothole started going. We were like, we want to not be so brutal and fast and all that, and rather just do the I don't know, the Machine Head Sepultura chug, if you can put it that way, and the Swedish sound. And we went for that option, and we played for also 2 years. We played Battle of the Bands, which we won. We played a couple of biker jawls. We played.
Who was part of that one?
That was Jacques, a guy called.
Carl was on
guitar as well. Jacques was on guitar. We never really had a bass player for some weird reason because of those Marshall stacks. So we just never needed it. And we also, I was on drums, and then I found a drummer from a band called Shooting Kareen. His name is Anthony. I forgot his surname. It's a Greek surname, Papoulis or whatever. And he was like
He was like Gene Ogden.
He was like Gene Ogden, and we were like, "Fuck, we're just gonna rope you in as drums, and I'll just go on as vocals." And we went on like that for 2 years, playing the circuit, and just trying to, blast our way through Cape Town. And eventually that fell apart, and then I fell into the trance scene after that.
Yeah, but the 90s were good. I mean,
Yeah,
considering
until about 1993, 94, things were rocking. I remember, I actually looked at the gig list in Cape Town. I tried to collect all the gigs from all. There were more gigs in 1993 and 1994 than all the other years put together. It was just gigs everywhere, fucking everywhere.
yeah,
That's the time that Hoggity Hog and Gunk and all those bands were out.
well, yeah, Hog started in 95, yeah. Well, they were with Leviathan. There is a band that we must not forget. Leviathan. With Stuart from VOD,
Robin,
yes.
Robin Stelick, Gareth,
and all that crazy fucking vocalist dude who became the singer for Hoggity. I mean, what was his name? George. Jeez, the crazy George.
Also passed away too.
Yeah. Crazy.
Bro, I have to tell you the story. I did tell you the story. I mean, it's out of great respect for George, but I remember one New Year's Eve, we all went off to what's the place called? Not Leisner, Wilderness, and we were camping there at the Wilderness, and George and them were there. We're all tenting out there, and we've got fucking pissed. That morning, we couldn't find George, so we were walking down the beach, and then we found George lying in the surf, with his pants down and the champagne bottle stuck up his ass. Honest truth, bro.
Yeah, I know a few stories like that too. Yeah, they were a raucous bunch.
I think to the Hogs, they took it to the next level when it came to.
But that was certainly for us from like 95 to 2000. I mean, there was such a crossover of bands. I mean, we played with as a metal band. I mean, we played with goth bands, we played with punk bands, we played with everybody. Actually, talking about Shooting Kareen, I mean, they were like a Chili Pepper type band. They opened for us for our CD launch at the Turtle. There was Lithium. We played with Lithium at the River Club, which was like
Nine.
Gig. I also played that gig.
Yeah.
There was some raucous and really well supported. I mean, all things considered, metal was supposed to be dead in the 90s, but it wasn't. I mean,
killed by grunge. Yeah.
When we used to play RTs or the Turtle and stuff like that, I mean, the people were jammed in there. I mean, it was insane. The most raucous gigs I've ever seen. It was
sweet.
So what was did Pothole? Did you guys ever go up Joburg side and or tour at all?
We will Hardcore 96. I can't remember if she organized it or if she was just part of the organizing the Cape Town bands. It was a lady by the name of Marlu van Leeuwen.
Oh yes, she was a writer. She used to write for the papers.
She was a journalist, and she was she was one of the magazines she used to write for was Collapse, and Collapse magazine was done by it was basically a project by Henny of Wakel Records. Yes. He was at that time he was like a creative director in the advertising world, Young and Rubicam and DDB Framptons and all these kind of places. So he was very well connected with journalists and stuff like that, and he started He did the Collapse magazine it had a couple of runs or whatnot. Where was it going?
There was also the SL mag. I remember they used to do quite a bit for metal bands. I think Paul actually wrote for, or was it somebody who used to write for SL mag? Look, Marlon Leeuwen, she did a shitload of write-ups on VD. I mean, I pay respect to the newspaper guys. There were 2 or 3 people in Cape Town that every gig that we did at Arties they would always do a write-up.
Miles Keelock was
and definitely Marlu. She always promoted fucking the metal bands. I don't know why, but she always did.
Yeah, she got us on Radio 5 on Barney's show and whatnot. We were interviewed on there and had a whole promo thing for our first album, which was great. I mean, but she was involved in Hardcore 96 up in Joburg. So we got a bunch. There was how many of us? I think it was
like 5 bands,
5 or 6 bands.
All from Cape Town.
Yeah. We hooked up one of these like 60-seater buses.
Whoa.
Piled into this thing, and it was
Chaos, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So who was on the bus? Was you? Okay, so it was Pothole.
It was Pothole, Hog. Funny enough, 2 Christian bands. A band called DTK. They were like a Fear Factory kind of band. They didn't have a drummer. They played with a drum machine. And Nailed, who were a punk band. And it was so funny because the Christian O's were in the front of the bus, and us heathens were in the back of the bus. And there's a video of that.
which I was the video man for.
Yeah, he was the video man.
So where's that video, man? I would think to come
We've
on.
been trying to get hold of it.
It's coming. It's coming. Henny from Waycool, he's actually doing a documentary thing on Waycool and all the bands that he was involved with and whatnot. So
Right.
yeah,
Let's expose it here on the channel as well, eh?
yeah.
We'll be running out in like 3 minutes. Shall we just chop it now, reconnect, then we can go on? Excellent. I want to kick off with a question. I think something that we are risking skipping is you did recordings, Adam, with Pothole. Talk a little bit about who were your, because there's always a big thing with sound. I mean, Greg mentioned, that one thing, not really sounding metal. I can speak volumes about that with my endeavors in Namibia with not getting the right sound people. But your demo, as far as I can remember, I heard a couple of Pothole things, and it always sounded decent. Where did you go?
There was a place called the London Connection. That's where you guys did that little needle dive, the little CD. Yeah.
Do you know, bro? He used to play for one of those. Andy was involved with one of those fucking British.
Yes.
What was those bands of that era? That new wave bands. He played for one of those Spandau Ballet or somebody.
Yeah. Right.
Some weird shit.
Yeah.
Greg, but this is not the guy that we drove to that was out in Tokai past there. Remember to this?
Yes. Yeah. And he used to.
He was the guy.
Yeah. So, I think we had heard about VOD recording at the London Connection, so that's kind of what led us to seeking it out. Just finding out what the story was there, and it just so happened they had they were doing these demo like specials. You could do it. You basically paid $600 and you got 6 hours to do everything. You could come in for 6 hours, record, and you walked out with whatever you had done after 6 hours. So we walked in there. We just flashed up the kit. We did like 2 takes of each song, and that was it. And
Greg, that's what Necrosis needed at that time, bro. $600 for 6 hours.
Yeah. $600 was a lot of money in those days, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, those were the happy days where $600 was like that's what you
come on. Let's be honest. If I would dig to know how much they paid for their fucking Marshall stacks from Bothner at that time. Probably about $9,000.
Carl and what you call it, Martin had day jobs, at that point in time, and had a bit of money saved, and buying a stack in those days wasn't too expensive.
Yeah, they were about $2,000
for the head.
I paid about 6,000 rand for that crate amp that I had, and that was in 1989.
Yeah.
But were they actually new? Maybe they just got them secondhand.
I think they probably got them secondhand. I'm not quite sure.
For some reason, $2,000 sticks in my brain, and I think that is the head. It was for the head, yeah. For Carl.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I think I was the poorest dude in the band. It truly was at that time, living mouth to mouth, literally, and surfing on people's couches.
Yeah. But that's where places like Hell, where you were paying like $2 for a quart, was the place to go.
Perfect.
Because I see you did 2 full lengths.
Yeah.
That Forces one, and then you did You did.
Yeah.
No, that's 1997, eh? You did that.
Yeah, 96 was the demo. 97 was the first album. Second album we recorded end of 99, going into 2000. Yeah, I think we launched it early 2000, but it was recorded in 99. Yeah,
Both at the same place.
all at London Connection. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we did a demo at Paris Lucas out in Fishhook side. That was the only thing we did outside of London Connection. It was all done. Yeah, we were quite loyal to them as our.
But it sounds great. I mean, it was heavy. I mean, fuck.
For what it was. I mean, and I mean, you're obviously limited to the time that you're in there. So it was, you get in, hit hard, get out. There was no room for fiddling around and testing things. So yeah, we hit it hard. And for
so
what
Adam,
it was,
how did you guys promote that? I mean, after you got the pressings? How did you promote that?
We were quite fortunate. There again, talking about Malu, she was going out with Miles Keylock at that time, who had a distribution. He had like a whole distribution network called Out to Lunch, and he got us in the musicas. I mean, yes, first pressing sold out, like literally, and also to give credit to Honest Gav on Green Market Square. I mean, we sold like 100 copies or whatever just at Gav alone, whenever.
I think Honest Gav sold more. I think the seventh demo, I remember giving it to him at the Square. I mean, I even told him you can reproduce it because we can't keep up. Because he was just moving tapes at that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was brilliant.
What a stalwart. I mean, I actually had a chat with Honest Gav last Saturday on WhatsApp. I mean, he's got so much stuff, bro, that obscure stuff that we've long forgotten about. But I mean, he was one of the key people in the Cape Town scene, in my mind. Absolutely.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, we would want to catch train from the southern suburb areas just to go and see what Gav had in stock for that weekend.
Gav store was.
I remember seeing him and Immolation Here and After had come out, and I had managed to poach the CD before him, and I remember him rocking up, and I was just like,
yeah. Yeah, it's quite sad. I actually don't know. I never asked Gavin what happened, because I mean the Green Market Square used to be like a center fucking point, and then it became all Africana shit. And I think Gavin probably eventually had to leave. I don't know.
Well, he had somebody working for him, a lesbian woman and I think she still, to a certain time frame, had been there selling for him, but his life in that square had come to an end because of all the African curio and
but also just
come in the city and the way that the
MP3s and movies down
that killed it for him.
I mean, the other guy that I feel, I don't know if you guys had any dealings with him, that was absolutely critical to the Cape Town scene, whether it was punk or metal, was old Ernesto. I don't know if anybody knows Ernesto.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a collection of. I mean, that guy is a walking history book of. Fuck, they got everything, bro. Like every recording of every demo of every band.
And where did we go in Cape Town to get our merch, our shirts, the Sgt. Peppers, huh?
Yes.
I remember that was also always a highlight, going there.
And Greg, your shop as well. I mean, yes,
Undertone.
I don't want to put this live on the channel, but I actually had a discussion with old Johan. Because I drank, and I still drink a lot. At that time, I actually fucking don't know where I got my stock from. And I actually don't know if I ever paid my rent or I paid the people for the stock. I don't know. I actually can't remember. I think the shop only lasted like 6 months or some shit. I mean, that Paradise Lost, I sold 98 tickets for Paradise Lost. And then they came to the show.
That's what killed it for Necrosis, and it was that was the.
Well, Paradise Lost was Andre's favorite band. They were,
look, I mean, and I asked you, I can't really remember. I had to organize the venue, and I organized UCT Yellow Level, where VOD had a Fuck the Concert once, and And then it sort of just folded. But I don't actually know what happened afterwards. I mean, what happened to the people who bought tickets? Did I refund them or did I drink the money away? I can't fucking remember. So what happened to Pothole? So then you did your album, and then you didn't do a nationwide tour to support it or anything like that.
We never quite got around to that. But I mean, in saying that, we got really good coverage on the radio, like UCT Radio, Radio 5, Barney Show, Full Right.
Overseas too, you got some reviews on some.
Yes, Metal Hammer and Kerrang. There was Top 40 magazine. We were album of the year in Top 40 magazine.
Yes, man. I think you posted a photo of that. Actually, I've got it somewhere. I'm going to put it into the video. Yeah,
that's great.
So what happened to Pothole, bro?
Let's just say that some people couldn't handle their drugs. It kind of spiraled out of control towards the end, and it was quite a there was almost like a seamless trans as Pothole crashed. Tom left Sacraphyx, and Alec asked me to join Sacraphyx. So then I just went straight from Pothole into Sacraphyx.
Alex Surridge.
Okay. Which explains my next question. I saw you at Wacken.
Yes.
I came to see you at the tent. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah. And who else was what's his name? Cliffy from Agro. He was there as well. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's a fucking underrated band there.
And Shukri, you remember Shukri?
Oh, Shukri Adams.
Yeah.
It's an interesting point, the whole Shukri thing, bro, because he was big buddies with Shukri, man.
Yeah.
No, bands like Grumlich, Damnation, Desecrated. I mean, I know nothing about these bands, but they sort of took the spur from the death metal scene, I think. Like band, not Grumlich so much. They were more gothic, I believe, or something like that. But Desecrate. I mean, I discovered Greg when I was researching this whole shit. Like at the time that Necrosis was going, there was a band in Hout Bay, a death metal band, which there was also something with a D. I'm not sure if it was Damnation.
Oh, Decimated. Yeah.
It was two brothers. Two brothers and Peter Monroe.
Yeah.
Who was the singer? He was quite a big dude.
Yeah. Blonde hair.
Yeah. Also a regular artist.
Lives in Joburg now. But his brother then moved to China and is a teacher in China, and that was the one drummer of that band.
That vocalist, he always walked around with Bulldozer t-shirt. He was a big Bulldozer fan. The French band Bulldozer, or was it a French band?
Adam, you did something with Revelous.
Yes. Yeah. That was sort of at the same time that I was with Sacraphyx. Yeah. So with Sacraphyx, we got offered the opportunity to go to play at Wacken, the Wacken Open Air Festival in Germany, and obviously now we had to scramble to get bucks and whatnot. So my partner in crime, old Henny there at Way Cool Records, he said to me, "Write me a song, and I'll pay your ticket to Wacken." So and he wanted to do this kind of like a goth rock type song. So I whipped this thing together, and he was doing a recording with an old friend of his. They were a band called Guns for Hire. They were also sort of like an alternative goth band.
Almost like Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, no, but a bit more on the goth edge, sort of the early 90s. But so he had a session, and he got me, and I was playing drums on the session for this friend of his, and then sort of on the arse end of the recording, I whipped out the guitar and put down this sort of scratch goth song for him, and he wanted Stuart from VOD to do vocals on it. And so we patched this thing together. I mean, I literally within the space of like an hour, I recorded this song, drums, bass, guitar. At
The Velvet Curtain, was that the track?
Velvet Curtain, yeah.
Yeah.
So we whipped Stu in there, got him in, and that just was like, this is actually quite cool. Why don't we do something with this, And that's where Revelus sort of came from. And at that point, Grumlich had broken up. So yeah, we brought in a bunch of the guys from Grumlich into Revelus, and yeah.
Who the fuck was the Grumlich? Johan, I don't know if you. I know nothing about Grumlich. Have I heard the name? I don't know.
You'll know Malcolm. Malcolm, long blonde hair.
Yes, I know Malcolm.
He was in my class at school. We were at school together, so yeah, he's been around as long as I have.
Were they a pure gothic band or something? Or black metal?
Grumlich was a doom band. They were
solely My Dying Bride.
They were my My Dying Bride. So that was there is demo material of theirs. I must actually speak to Malcolm and get it from him.
And then Adam, you did the bass for us at Woodstock.
At Oppie. Yeah. I think it was 4 or 5 shows played all together. Oh, that was awesome, man. Because for me, obviously, VOD was a very special place for me. I mean, high school got the Black Cathedral cassette and the 7th demo. Well, first the 7th demo, then Black Cathedral. So that was.
You also played Woodstock because I think we took Tom. You remember that American guy, Tom?
Yes. Yeah.
He was supposed to play the bass, and he never ended up playing. So I think you played.
Yeah,
you played at Woodstock as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good, man.
Wonder what happened to Tom.
Yeah. Tommy is in Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah. He's in Scotland.
He was from
For me, the 3 most mystical figures in Cape Town metal was Tommy, okay, because he always boasted that he was like this, and we tried him on bass. I mean, I never heard him play lead guitar ever. Okay,
Yeah.
The second one was old Alan. Remember Alan from Raven Wolf? I mean, we tried out Alan for VOD and. Brew, that guy could rip on guitar, but he could not remember what he played. It was always just made up on the spot. He could never fucking repeat anything, bro. I actually watched a video the other night when VOD first played in Joburg, and we were punks with Stuart in 1989 or something at Club Image. I totally had slipped my brain that we took Alan with, and at the end of the gig, we pulled Alan on the stage, and he did what's the cover? Breaking the Law.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a fucking phenomenal guitarist, but bro, that guy could not fucking repeat anything that he fucking did before.
Yeah, I jammed with him and Krinon in a band, but it was very tiring, trying to get somebody to understand either riffs or whatever. Yeah, he still actually is around. He works in a music shop in Fisher, ironically.
Yeah,
he was part of Bothness. He was one of the managers for Bothness for a long time.
He lost all his hair, so he's completely bald now.
Yeah.
So, I remember when I used to visit Alan, I tried to get him to join VOD at that time, big time. He was living out in Musenberg side, and I would go and same as you did. I would try and get him to understand the riffs and the structure, and he was into what's his these wanky guitarists at that time, like like Malmsteen and that sort of stuff. I mean, he could do that cuck.
Yeah.
He would never remember doing it.
He was good, yeah.
No, he couldn't remember shit. Like, he couldn't remember what he did 2 seconds. We did 2 gigs with him in Cape Town, and we unplugged him. And he was hoying, bro, on the guitar, and he was just hoying. It was like, he just unplugged him because he was just... And there was another dude that was... I want to know if any of you guys remember this dude. There was this bass player. He was like a taxi driver, Chinese-looking guy, colored Chinese-looking guy. He played bass for VOD also once or twice. He was always at all the gigs, but he was like a mythical fucking figure that his job was a taxi driver. He used to drive taxis in Cape Town. Do you anybody remember that guy?
Nah, I only ever remember Dick in there on the bass.
So Adam and Greg, so okay, Pothole. So Pothole just fizzled out. Basically, you just the guys left, and then so what did you do after that? And then I'm going to hear from Greg. What you know? I know Greg went to the whole trance thing, but we'll get to that, and then come back.
Well, it was Sacraphyx. We hit it pretty hard with that, and we were quite fortunate in that time frame. Witch Doctor Records were bringing a lot of bands to South Africa, the Peterson brothers, which was a huge thing. I mean, they really put their balls on the line, and with that whole escapade. But they brought Entombed here. I mean, we toured the country with Entombed, with the Haunted.
Wow, I never knew the Haunted played in South Africa.
Amazing.
Conqueror, Conqueror, in Cape Town we played. We played Soulfly at the what was that place called?
The River Club.
No. At Century City, there was that.
The Dome.
Dockside.
Dockside.
Yeah. It was like a huge venue there. So we played a bunch of those shows, I think. Who else was there?
It's kind of sad, my bro, because Pothole, judging from the gigs that you mentioned now, you guys were on a real you were.
Oh, it was a moment.
So basically, then the split. Well, not the split. The solution came when the two guys just fucked off to UK or something, I guess. Or
Martin left. Jock came in. He was there for a short while. But it was it was a strange time, and there was also that sort of there was the move into new metal, so there was a little bit of a strange transition period, but then just hit the ground running with Sacraphyx and did like 1.5 albums with them.
Sacraphyx was a great band. There's no shit about it. Fuck me.
Yeah. And Alec is he's a serious stalwart of the Cape Town scene. Still jamming to this day. I mean, the man's a machine, eh? I mean, South Africa's not in.
Oh, Craig V actually asked to join this meeting. I sent him the link to. I don't know why he didn't join, but there's another one that you and I have been like. I mean, what a phenomenal fucking musician, and he never joined or started the band, and
amazing, eh?
But yet he's the only person I know who makes a living out of fucking music from our time.
Did a very cool project that he was part of as well with Robin Stellick and Errol Bong.
Wow.
Errol. And we did just it was like a tribute track to George. He was going to be the original vocalist. He passed away, so
What happened to the rest of the Leviathan guys? What was that guy's name we played the guitar, the curly sort of curly?
Gareth is now a well-known alpinist. He does a lot of climbing. He climbs all over the world doing massive peaks and stuff like that, and he does video footage for clients, etc. He went the nature route,
Good.
He does some serious mountaineering. And,
so Greg, after Necrosis and Pothole, so you when Pothole sort of broke apart, or that's a negative word, but then you became fucking big. My brother Nick was always raging about you became fucking big in the trance scene, bro.
I decided to go that route for the simple reason it's very tough playing in a band, especially in the 90s where personality clashes were the thing of the day, and trying to keep 4 people or 5 people to be on the same wavelength and get practices going and trying to get gigs, and then like in the time that I ever played in bands, I don't think I ever made a fucking cent. I spent a lot of money playing in bands, but just never ever saw the return. So I decided to, I took a big bout of LSD and whatever, and I fell into the trance scene. And the great thing about the trance scene for me is I could play fucking loud music outdoors on a massive sound rig, and I could play for 2 hours and get paid.
And get treated well.
I could get paid a fortune for playing other people's music. And
I mean, you became quite a big fucking name in the trance scene.
I've been playing in the trance scene. I've been playing for 20 odd years in the trance scene, but in that time as well, I decided to join a band called Low, And Low was a new metal band. We fell into the Korn, Limp Bizkit, Tool, Deftones world, and we played. We did a lot of rehearsals for over a year, but then the trance bug just got me. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing in a band when I can just go and?" So I kind of moved away from the scene for over a decade, and then came back into 2010, and I started a band called Hallucifix, which was basically Drew's Dimebag Darrell kind of Pantera thrash band. And we
And you were
played
back to drums, playing drums then.
drums, yeah. And then in that time, I played for a hillbilly rockabilly band called the Voden Haunts, and we did enough gigs around the Cape Town and Joburg, Pretoria area. And then after that, that fell away, and I joined Bong with a band called No Big Deal with him and Wendy and another guy called Lindsay on guitar. And we played for 3 years on the circuits throughout the whole of Cape Town where we could until Bong's demise.
Well, COVID, yeah.
And COVID, yeah. Well, I went abroad for 2 years after that, from 2017 to 2019. And then
The last time I saw Bong for real life, I walked into a bank in Cape Town somewhere, and I was standing in the fucking queue, and I turned it around, and there's this fucking guy dressed in a suit, black suit with a white shirt on with a tie, and his dreads hanging to his fucking legs. Old Bong. I mean, one of my fucking heroes, bro. I knew Bong when he was still slim and skinny, when he lived up in 604, that place up in Loop Street.
Yeah.
Skateboard champion. You remember that skateboard shop he ran?
He gave Pothole. That was our first
rehearsal area,
because he let us practice in his skate shop.
He was like a national skateboard champion, bro. The people don't even know that about Bong, eh? Like, I mean, old Mikey. Remember, Mikey used to play with Bong, and I believe he passed away too. Eh? They were in gun together. Bong, Stewart, and Mikey, and
shame. He was very cool there. I saw him before he passed away. I actually went through to what's that, Renegade Records. There was a vinyl shop there in Observatory. Went around there. It was about 15 years ago, whatever it was, during the week, and I bumped into him there. And he was very ill. I mean, I think he died about two weeks later after that.
Did he have cancer or something, or what?
And HIV. Yeah.
Oh shit, bro.
Heroin. The dirty needles, that got him, unfortunately.
Man.
Yeah, shame.
So how did you meet up with Adam again and tell us more about what you're trying to do, bro?
It was last year. I mean, I started working quite heavily in the film industry, and I'm currently on a project for an ETV soapy, and it's been consistent work, and that consistent work got me the idea of buying a kit again, and then I pulled Mr. Recluse out of his hole retirement. Said, "Come, let's just try and jam." And we've been trying to play, and getting a little band together. It's going to take a bit of time because the musicians at the moment are a bit scattered. It's.
Who else is with you guys on? We know, or anybody else?
Brett from Terminatrix.
Brett was with me in the Some Underground. No, in fact, he was with Terminatrix. Then we stole him from Terminatrix. Then
you also played on that Revelers project.
Yes, he was.
He did.
Revelers turned into the Some Underground, and then Brett, and then Luke, also from Some Underground. He's also been
fucking a phenomenal guitar.
He's great lead guitar.
So Greg, you playing drums, and Adam, you doing guitar.
Guitar, yeah, and
who's going to do the vocals and stuff on this project?
No plans just yet. We'll see where the music goes and decide from there. What.
But you say it's like very doomy.
Well, I wouldn't say doomy in a sense of slow. It's quite medium paced. There's.
I mean, we do. We also like you normally do when you start a band. You start with a couple of covers just to, get things going. We've got bursting out. Not bursting out.
55. Got the jams. We're doing a whole lot of Rosie, ACDC.
AC/DC, yeah. What else were we farting around with there? The Cults, Sanctuary.
Oh, fuck the cult.
Yeah, just stuff like that, you know.
Just to get ourselves into the headspace of playing music again.
Yeah.
But I hear, because I live in Langebaan, Bruce. The last time I was in Cape Town was probably about 4 years ago or something like that. I don't leave the house actually. Maybe once a month I might go to the spa. But I heard from Paul the other day, like the Cape, even those like the clubs where we last played on the 2009 tour. What was that place called? The venues are gone, eh? There's
COVID killed a lot.
COVID destroyed a lot, eh? Yeah.
So if as a metalhead in Cape Town, and like we used to go to RDs, we go to Stage. Where the fuck would you go now in Cape Town?
Well, if you do go, you go to the Armchair Theatre in OBS, which is quite. I've been to a couple of gigs there. I went to go see Volvadinia last year sometime, and there's been a lot of bands that have come and played here, including internationals. And then there's also the Daisy Jones Bar in outside Stellenbosch, where a lot of bands are playing, including that of Groenchurn, and Groenchurn has just recently done a show in the Brutal Obscene
Extreme
Festival. Yeah.
Oh my god, I watched that fucking video. I could not believe. Oh my god. You know, I have to say, I've been a real puss in my life. I never paid attention to bands like Groenchurn and when they were still Sepsis and they became Groenchurn. But when Johan said, when Johan did an interview with old what's his name, and that Obscene Festival, he's our age, bro, and the way he hoists that bass guitar and do the vocals, it's like he's still got that same voice. Like what?
He's got a bar.
Johan's actually said, Johan's claim is the band that's actually done the most work for South African metal or been consistent all the way through has been Groenchurn. They really fuck.
Overseas.
They never made a big splash about it. They just did it always.
I think the hardest working band. That's what I.
Yeah.
And currently now as well, the hardest working band is Volvadinia. They are playing all over America, playing all over Europe, and they're an internet sensation band that has jumped from zero to hero. So it's good on them. They're helping.
As far as new bands go, yeah, Volvadinia is definitely right up there.
So, Greg, is that like new metal stuff, or is it what is
no,
that?
That's called deathcore.
Deathcore slam, eh? Is it slam?
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Yeah. All 8 strings, heavy, low tuning, and brutal, fast as fuck.
So, how do you guys feel about this whole latest Wacken SA metal? This whole deathcore new metal scene, how do you guys feel about that?
Some of it I enjoy, but I still tend to personally go back to the old stuff. The originators of the scene. Well, going all the way back to the 70s, early 70s, the Sabbath type stuff. But they are new. What are the new stuff? Would you say impresses you?
I got into Cattle Decapitation because it falls under that American death metal suffocation kind of sound. They were probably the newest band in the last 10 years to make my ears perk up. But a lot of these bands that are playing nowadays in this deathcore mainstream sound, it's like the Lorna Shores and all of that, they're all playing with click tracks, so it doesn't have any sway. It's very just monotonous and guttural in its sense. So it's lost a bit of soul. But hopefully things in time will revolve back to the beginning again. And you see that with a lot of sounds that are happening in.
There are a lot of bands that are sort of from the 90s. And 2000s, which are still putting out like really good albums, whether it's Decapitated or Aborted.
Guys, we've got 2 minutes. Should we hook up for another short wrap up, or?
Yeah, let's do a quick wrap up and then.
Leading up to lockdown, there was a heck of a lot going on, and there were also local bands, like certainly from Cape Town. There was Zombies Ate My Girlfriend, who were actually doing some really
I've heard
good.
of that, man.
Yeah, they did. What was it? That whack and battle, which is sort of like a thing that's been happening in recent years. There, where they put all these sort of like new bands, unknown bands up against each other in a big competition, and they won that in the year that they took part.
Fucking imagine we had that in our days, bro.
Jeez, yeah.
There's actually a band.
I'll tell you, hey, I'll never forget that Battle of the Bands at Hell. I mean, that was such an event, man.
Yeah, I don't want to really tell you the stories of Hell because it's kind of a little, the dudes who ran raffles, old Andy and Neville.
Yeah.
So I used to DJ at raffles on a Wednesday night. And I used to drive through with that fucked up little Ford. It was so rusted, but I sat on a beer crate. The chair was totally loose. I would go DJ. That's the only money I could make in those days was go DJ at fucking raffles, get free beer, get maybe like $200. But anyway, long story short, so Neville and them came to me one day and said, listen, we've got this club in Cape Town opposite the Good Hope Centre. And why don't you take it over and start a metal club there? So I was like, yeah, fuck, bro, let's go. So we walk into this place, bro, and it was just like this big fucking empty. We built cement walls. We bought bricks and cement, bro. We built like rooms and cuck and all that shit. All the windows, there were so many windows. We tried to cover the windows with fucking paper and cuck to stop the light pouring. And it was the acoustics in that place sucked. But long story short, so we got a couple of pool tables in there and we started putting on gigs there. What happened with Hell is that one day, the Christians used to picket outside. I don't know if you recall that. There's some photos of that shit where they would come outside and they would fucking picket. Yeah. Like when the kids would say to their parents, where are you going this weekend? I'm going to Hell. The Christians they didn't like this at all. So eventually the owner of this building the owner of the building walks in, bro, and he goes, he had no clue there was a club even happening in these were business premises. Yeah, he shut it down like I just disappeared.
That was a good time, man. That was a very good time. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to put on Battle of the Bands all the time. I mean, I was trying to actually find. We had something like 13, 14 bands playing on some of these fucking things. Yeah.
Didn't Lithium win that battle or that Hell Battle of the Bands?
It was either them.
I can't remember Lithium, bro. The only time I remember playing with Lithium, Greg, was we played with Lithium at.
Yeah, no, Lithium definitely played that show. Remember that played that show.
Yeah. Nine.
Yeah,
also
played.
Nine was also a grunge Cape Town band, eh? Well, Cape Town. There was a band called Brain Dead.
Oh yeah,
Brain Slaughter.
That was long.
I've got no information on Brain Slaughter and Brain Dead. What do you guys remember of those bands?
Brain Slaughter was Spencer. Hardcore Spencer Kuhn.
Spencer Kuhn, Johan Nordier's friend, the dopey dude. Spencer Kuhn.
Yeah, he worked for Telkom. He worked for Telkom, yeah. Now he was like a hardcore. He was a hardcore nut. Now that band is more myth than reality at the end of the day. But yeah,
we played like 3-4 gigs with him.
Yeah,
I've got 5 or 3-4. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's Brain Slaughter, right?
Yeah, that's Brain Slaughter, yeah.
And Brain Dead?
Brain Dead was Bong's band. That was his. They were kind of like a Black Flag style hardcore band. Just trying to think who else was in that band.
Probably Mikey.
No. Because Bong was on the guitar in that band. The bass player was shit, man. It was there was the old the doorman at Artie's was Stephen.
Yes, he died. That's old Steve.
Yeah. His brother was
a young guy with blonde hair. Yeah.
No, not that Stephen. Stephen Bosch. Stephen Bosch was from Artie's. He's Oliver Bosch.
Oliver, that was his brother. He had blonde hair, short.
Yeah. Oliver Bosch was the bass player of Braindead. Bong was on guitar. I can't remember who was the drummer. They might have had. Did they have a female drummer? I think they might have had a female drummer.
So Braindead was punk, and so was Brain Slaughter. Really, there was.
Yeah. They were Black Flag. They were very, very Black Flag. Braindead, and then Carl from Necrosis. After Necrosis, the first thing that he did, he was playing guitar in Braindead.
He was not a bad guitarist, eh?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, shame. Well, Carl kind of fell away from the guitaring because when we worked together in a factory dyeing material or do a lot of material that was dying, and he was basically the maintenance guy, and he lost his finger in an accident where he
slipped and fell and it slid on the ground, and his hand went into one of the fans, cooling fan, and
chopped his finger off, the index finger. Yeah, kind of like an Iomi Tony moment.
Yeah,
I remember seeing his finger digit pop out the other side, and I was like, "Fuck!" There goes Carl's guitaring, and it basically stopped all his guitaring, and he then. Yeah,
where's Carl these days, my bro?
He's in the oil industry. He works as a crew.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, he does very well. He makes big money, and he utilized his N3 technical abilities to get into the oil industry, and he has never looked back. Yeah, music is nothing.
Is he still based in South Africa, or has he moved away? Or
he is based in South Africa. He's got a home in Tableview. Melbourne Strand. He just does his own thing. He's married to, I think, a Vietnamese or a Philippine woman, and he's got 2 kids. And his world is not about music at all.
Yeah, about a year ago. It was about 10 years ago at the Corner Bar.
In Durbanville.
Yeah, in Durbanville, we had Watty's reunion there, which was fantastic. Yeah, was it about 10 years ago?
Mm.
Yeah.
And then just recently we went to see Robin Stellick, who we saw his birthday or something like that, and we went to Kalk Bay. It was about a year ago. We went to Kalk Bay and we saw...
Yeah, Robin looks good, bro. I mean, my little rich boy drummer friend, I remember always telling me, like, when we got old Robin, I mean, that's when VOD went into the whole crossover scene, with shorts. I used to wear fucking board shorts and... We were like crossover,
Robin was the guy that
great drummer.
We just followed Robin's vibe because Robin was the first guy to give me death metal. He was the first guy that I ever saw play drums like a fucking lunatic and actually did well for it. And we still chat to this day, and we've seen a number of bands together, Slayer and all of that, and just such an amazing guy. He comes from this rich family. He just was never interested in that society.
Yeah, you would
he
never
was
say.
always
phenomenal drummer, bro. I mean, that crossover time of VOD with Stuart, Dick, and Robin. I mean, for me, that was the most energetic time of VOD. Was at that time. I
mentioned to you, I've got a recording, a frank recording from the stage because VOD. I think Yo's used to practice there, and I have a recording of Robin on the drums playing with VOD, rehearsing with VOD at the stage. And it's actually a pretty cool recording. I must dig it out, send it through to you.
Yeah, I saw the photos of you three actually with Robin a while back. Was it at the reunion? I mean, he's looking good, bro. Like, he was a youngster. I mean, he was fucking young to me compared to that time.
He's in his 50s now. He's in his mid 50s, and does very well in UK. I think he does some contract for the UK Navy, and multi-millionaire. You would never say it, but multi-millionaire, owns a big property in just outside of Woking, Guildford. And I actually went to visit him about 2 years ago, and we ended up doing clay pigeon shooting with shotguns on his property, and riding around fucking ATVs and going into his man cave, which is just solely dedicated to skateboarding and death metal. And And you would never think that man still has like this underground.
The funniest story I can tell you about Robin, hardcore '96. At that stage, he was playing drums for Hog Hoggity Hog.
Yeah.
And we're on the bus, and somebody,
Fedra, it was Fedra.
somebody was hassling him
Fedra.
on the bus. Now it's getting dark. It's like at sunset. The bus is rocking. That we pull in. It was like near Three Sisters or somewhere there.
Bloemfontein, just outside Bloemfontein.
Was somewhere there in the Karoo, like going into the Free State, and the bus. We stopped it was like did a piss stop or whatever it was, and he picks up his skateboard. He says, "I'll see yours in Joburg." This is like I say, like at dusk, in the middle of nowhere, and
ice cold.
So we carry on and we just like, yes, this is going to get he's going to get
lost,
trapped or lost or get kidnapped or something's going to happen to this. But he's not going to rock up there. And so eventually we get to the baseline in Joburg, the venue where we're going to be playing. Yeah, pull in there. We all pile out of the bus. We like lying on the grass, like after this long trip, and who comes like skating down the road and.
No fucking way, bro. So you got off the bus in Colesberg and he ended up in Joburg.
Yeah. So he was skating along the road and catching lifts with truck drivers here and there. And he got there like pretty much shortly after us. It was insane. At dusk, t-shirts. And this is pre-cell phones or anything like that.
Yeah.
So he was t-shirt, shorts. Tacky, skateboard, I'll see you there. Another like 600 Ks to go.
Yeah, that's why he fit in very well with Hog Hoggity Hog, because that whole band had that attitude, like we don't give a fuck, and they were just like fucking around sort of shit. Like, and they just had that youthful attitude that we should all fucking have retained in a way, because I mean let's give it to them. They became fucking huge, bro. I mean, they're one of the most mentioned bands in SA Punk and shit these days. Is Hog Hoggity Hog, without a doubt.
I tell you what. In the beginning, I mean, because with Pothole, I mean, they played. We must have played like 30, 40 shows together in those early days, and they would open. Basically, they were. They were like a
opening band.
They used to open for us, and it would be practically a metal crowd. And they played.
They won so many hearts.
And you could slowly see. In the beginning, people were just like, "What the fuck is this?" And slowly but surely, they just started like picking up.
Yeah.
By the end of it, they were the kings. They were. Chicks.
Yeah, they quite a lot of like ska and all that stuff into it, and and it worked for them. I have to give it to Hog Hoggity Hog. I mean, but Hog Hoggity Hog made something out of it, which is fucking quite impressive, bro. Like Focal Politica and Hog Hoggity Hog. I mean, they did millions of fucking gigs together. Yeah. They became. If you go search on the internet now for SA Punk, you'll see a Hog Hoggity Hog. And Focal Politica feature all the time. It's like their names are like set. It's amazing. I never thought they would actually.
No, they are the classic case of the perseverance gets you there in the end. Because to see where they started to where they ended up, that was amazing. And sad that it took George dying to bring it all crashing down. Sure.
What did you? I mean, what, from drugs or how did yours go?
No. I think he flew down because he was also living in Germany at the time, and he came down back to Cape Town, and I think I don't know if it was related.
It was their first gig.
It was the first gig back. Yeah, he literally arrived a day later. They played the show at I think it was at the Assembly.
Yeah.
And went home and went to sleep and never woke up again, just like that. Yeah, he was 40. He was around like 40, 41. Yeah. Hectic. Yeah, he was. Yeah, same as he was at Tech with me. Yeah. Yeah.
6 drugs and rock and roll, bro. That's
very sad. Yeah. Sad.
so. What are we expecting from this unknown band from you guys now in the next next year, bro? Are you gonna release? What's the plan? Are you gonna do some gigs, or are you planning just to record like an album?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Yeah. Just having fun at the moment.
Adam and Greg, I know Johan doesn't agree with me on this one, but I'm going to say it. I think the thing I miss the most is not the recording or the tours. The thing I miss the most is playing live. I fucking miss playing live. For me, that was the pure. So, how do you guys feel about that? Is that still something that burns within you, like to play live?
Yeah, I want to do that, and but yeah, we're just doing it, I'd say, in our own time. We're trying to just we don't want to rush things. I think he muted himself.
Some cobwebs that need to be dusted off.
I love the live playing. It's just you need a really dedicated band, like that pulls through. I think Greg touched on that earlier, like that goes in one direction, 5 guys, 4 guys, whatever you got, and all sort of having the same energy. Then it's fun.
Yeah. Quite strange, obviously, now being on the elder side of things as well, in playing to people who could be your kids, It's like, but it's a different mindset to what we had back in the day too.
I get that as well now. Being in the trance scene, I get to play to friends that I've known for the last 20 years in the psytrance scene in Cape Town, and the psytrance scene has been a massive subculture and subgenre.
I agree.
I play to their kids now, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And this guy's like, "This guy's been playing this kind of music for the last 20 plus years." And they're like, well, we've never heard of the guy, and fuck, he's raging it. And it's like, I'm playing to 20-year-olds as a almost 51-year-old now. So
the most humbling experience I had was in that 2009 tour that we did, the final VOD thing, and we went to play like Zeppelins and the Doors, and there were these people, bro, that were 17, 16 years old, used to come up, and they brought their kids. The kids are now like 23 years old. And they were so fucking proud. And I mean, I just kept swallowing, bro. Like, I found it almost like choking, like the passion these people have. And they bring the children. They've told the children for years about this fucking band. And then they bring them to the gig, And I mean, we all got egos, I guess, but for me, I found that it choked me up, bro. It's like that. It's humbling to see that.
The 3 intros were lekker, man, and it was good seeing Dick in there as well, because that's one thing. That oak was a monster on the bass there. Yes,
Jesus. When I met Dickon the first time, I remember he lived in up in. With his mum and Aiden up in we had a gig at the Thunderdome, and our bassist Radley had then fucked off. So we went. So Stuart said, "Now he knows this guy called Dickon." So I went to Dickon's place, and I walked into this house, bro, and they had it's like Lord of the Rings stuff shit. Like he had these mirrors and these clocks and all this old shit furniture and like weird stuff, bro, like fucking ethereal stuff. And old Dickon took up the helm. Like he just said, cool. So we had no practice with Dickon. We basically put him in my combi and we drove all the way to Joburg to go do that first gig. And Dickon just winged it he just winged it.
Yes.
And that became that. He was going to play just that one gig and he stuck.
Africa's Geezer Butler.
Yeah, I know. I mean, God. I mean, that fucking guy, as a person, I think he's one of the best bass guitarists I've met in my entire life, honestly.
No, he's the real deal. Yeah.
He was the Cliff Burton of South African metal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, great respect for that guy. I mean, and he just stuck, bro. And he was 16 years old when we took him to Joburg the first time. It was his first. He walked onto the Thunderdome stage, which was a big stage at the time. Barney Simon, everybody was there. No Friends of Harry and all this, and he just hoyed it. And he was like underage, actually, no practice, and he just fucking murdered it. Like, fuck. Amazing.
Thinking of that, the show that I played with you guys at Opikopi. Old Barney Simon introduced the band. Well, he was introducing all the bands, really. And I don't know if you remember, Johan. What did he say? Somebody threw something at him from the crowd, and he said, "Do that again, and I'm gonna come down there and kick your ass." Tuning this guy, and
yes.
It's the worst thing he could get, because about 15,000 beer cans came flying and chased him off the stage. Just Barney like just ducking and diving to get out of this like barrage of beer cans. Yes, it was.
It's sad. Full Right was the fucking. He supported the metal, but old Barney Simon. I know most metalheads really don't dig Barney Simon, but Barney Simon did it. He was more into the gothic alternative stuff. He supported a lot. I mean, he did as much work as Full Right did, but the metal he didn't do much for metal. But I'll say one thing for Barney Simon, and it has to be recorded. When we were in London and we just finished the album recording at Academy Studios in Yorkshire, and we were living in East Ham, just about a kilometre away from where Iron Maiden, that pub that Iron Maiden started. We in East Ham, it's like the fucking Pakistani side of London, and whether it was snowing or fucking raining, Barney's we didn't have telephones or cell phones in those days, so we had like a call box. Outside and Barney Simon would actually call us on a Friday night. We would stand there in our fucking like in snow, and he'd do an interview with us. I mean, he did a lot of work for South African music.
Oh no, he did it.
He did a lot of work, as Full Right did, for South African music.
And to think in those days, like mainstream radio. I mean, Radio 5 was the radio station. So actually getting gaps on a platform like that at that time was amazing. I remember that day fondly when VOD got an interview on, I can't remember if this was Full Right or with Barney, but for me that was a big breakthrough in my growth in the band. I was like, fuck, we got played on radio, we got interviewed on Radio 5. I mean, that it was unheard of at that time for fucking anything punk or metal to be heard on fucking South African radio. Absolutely unheard of. It was like a big triumph moment, It was like a lot of that was also with the crossover. The fact that we didn't just play. It wasn't just like metal bands. You were playing with all sorts of different bands with different influences, and
you also got to remember we went to a lot of places like the Playground and the Stage, and then even the rave scene was coming in quite heavily in the 90s. So it was Cape Town as a whole was a crossover of everything, and nobody was shunned, and you would see that
it was very open-minded. Much more open-minded than. But
I think we had to be. I think we had to be, Greg and Adam, because we didn't have the amounts of people. So we had to appeal to, when you go play at the Playground, you had to appeal to not just there's not enough metalheads to fill up the club. So you had to appeal to more genres, I guess,
We hit the time limit again. I think we have to sort of...
No, that's all good, man.
Thank you very much for your time and allowing us on here.
Yeah, for sure.
No, bro, I really appreciate you guys being on here. It's like, especially...
Thanks to the two of you. You've closed so many gaps for me now that, and I didn't even need to ask the questions. You just came along with them. I had a big gap in terms of Decimated, who they were. I can't remember.
Shut it. Yeah, I know. I can tell you, we could probably go on for another 10 hours, but
we'll do that at the live interview where everybody's there and we all culminate and catch up.
Yeah,
definitely. We'll do that. Pothole, I mean, one of the fucking greatest fucking bands that came out of Cape Town at that time, and the first fucking death metal band from Cape Town was definitely Necrosis in my mind.
Good fucking times. Right as.
Love you, my brother.
Take it easy, bros. Yeah, nice one.
Oh.
Thanks, Johan. Thanks, Greg.
Catch you later.
Sweet.
Have a good one.
Right. Cheers.
Love you guys. Ciao, ciao.